In today's video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how you're going to use Keepa within your Amazon business and be able to track how fast an Amazon product has been selling, what price it's been selling for, and all of the prior competition on that listing as well. Being able to read these Keepa charts is super important. I'm going to break it down step by step for you guys. So let's jump right in. Okay, so first things first, guys, I'm going to break down what these lines actually mean and why it's important to understand them. And so this top line right here, this is the buy box, right? This is what price that product is selling for. And so you guys can actually see that right now the buy box is $23.40, but you can see it's shaded in orange. So you can see that Amazon is actually on this listing. If you ever come across a chart that has a shaded orange buy box and you can see it's consistently orange, this is something you guys are going to want to avoid because Amazon is on the listing and you guys are likely not able to actually compete against Amazon, especially when they're winning the buy box this frequently. And so this line is really important to understand. You want to see a stable pink line because that would mean the price is consistent and it's going straight and it's not going down. It's not necessarily going up too much. And so the next line that I'm going over is this one right here, which is the monthly sold. And so this is also another line that you want to see completely consistent. You want to see this, either going up or completely consistent. Okay. You don't want to necessarily see it dropping down unless it's, monthly sold 4,000 at its lowest point. That's still super fast, still a lot of demand. The sales rank is only 28. And so, this is still popular. This line here shows you how fast the product has been selling throughout time. And you're able to track based on data when it's the most popular. And so if you go to all charts, you guys can see actually back then in November of 2025, it was selling 20,000 times a month. And so you guys are able to use these Keepa charts to kind of be able to determine when to buy this product based on, this data here. And so you guys can see right there, I had a little bit of a drop off, still selling pretty consistently though, 3,000 times a month at its lowest point is 2,000, which is still really good. I would still, potentially buy this product according to that demand. We can see it drops off just a little bit here and you can see the lowest point is 2,000, which is still really good. And so this line here is all about how fast it sells, how consistent it is. And you can see it's plateauing right here at about 10,000, which is very fast. This last line here is extremely important to understand. This is the offer count. And so if you see one offer count, it's usually either the brand or Amazon. So you can see that it's been consistent, just one person on this listing. That means you're likely not going to want to get on the listing. Okay, you're going to want to avoid this. This is an example of a bad Keepa chart, right? Because yes, it's fast in selling, but it is not good with the buy box rotation. You can see Amazon is constantly on it. It's shaded all in orange, meaning Amazon is always winning the buy box and it's only one person always on the offer count. And so that's why it's important to be able to read this. And I'm going to show you guys a good Keepa chart later in this video so that you guys can kind of understand what you're looking for. And so this isn't all that Keepa does, right? So there's other features that it does, okay? If you go under the data tab right here, you can see actual more product details. And it's just going to break down more information about that product for you. But this isn't the page I go on. I usually go to offers, okay? And this is where you're able to see other data based on historical offers and Amazon. So you can see their stock history. You can see how fast they're actually selling. And you can see what they had priced at. And so Amazon was selling, they had 1,000 in stock. They sold very quickly and they were priced at around $23. So you can kind of map out and see, you can see no other sellers actually were even on this very frequently. Okay. And so it's not a, super popular item for resellers to sell because Amazon is on it so frequently. But there's another feature. You go under BuyBox Statistics and you can see exactly how frequently other people are rotating between the buy box, right? And so this, like I said, Amazon is 100% of the buy box because it's the only listing. And so let me go over to a different product and you guys are going to be able to see what it looks like with a more popular listing. All right, guys, so you can see this is a listing here that has a lot more competition, a lot more sellers, because you can see right here, other sellers on Amazon is 21. And so if you scroll down to these Keepa charts, you can see a little bit more movement here, right? And so let's go down and we can zoom in a little bit so we can see better, right? You can see this is pretty consistent, you guys. You can see that, the price is kind of hovering around $28, $27, and it's not really dipping too low. And so it's pretty consistent, right? This is a good, consistent selling product in terms of price. But even with how fast it sells, that is good as well, guys, because you can see that this is, dipped down, but still 400 a month is still good in sales speed. And so you can see it's actually gotten a little bit more popular and it's 1,000 times selling a month. Okay. And you can see this offer count, guys. If you see a lot of movement in this, right, you can see 27 people on it. You can see it's starting to drop down, trickle down. That means people are selling out of their product. It means they're no longer on the offer count because they sold out. They can't be counted as an offer. They're not there. And so that's why you want to see movement in this offer count. Okay. You want to see people moving up and down, up and down. You don't want to see it going super far up, right? Because as it goes up, you guys are going to notice that it's going to tank. The price is going to tank as more people hop on. And so that's just because more people are competing with the price and they're going to try to actually win that buy box, right? The buy box obviously is this right here. They want to be that person there. So aside from that, guys, if you want to go and look at a Keepa chart, this is essentially from here something you kind of want to see. Okay. You want to see nice, consistent. You want to see consistent sales a month, not dipping down under 50 a month. If it still sells 50 times a month, you're still going to be able to get some sales out of that. And so that's worth it. There's many products that I have in my catalog that only sell 50 times a month, and I get around 25 to 30 units, and I'm still able to actually sell all of them within that month. So it's still worth it, guys. But this here is good because, like I said, 400 goes up to 1,000. And so there's a lot of movement here. And so this is just a good example, guys. This is a good Keepa chart. This is what you want to see. And so let me show you something that you guys are going to want to be aware of when coming across these Keepa charts. And it is when the offer count, as you can see here, drops immediately. You can see it just completely drops all the way down. You guys do not want to see this. If you do come across this, this would mean there was listing issues and most likely an intellectual property complaint, and people got kicked off that listing. Okay, they got an IP, they had to submit for, to get approved to be able to sell that product again, jumping through hoops. We don't want to deal with any IPs. And so we look through the data, and within the past 3 months, there hasn't been any. And so that would be essentially safe to hop on the listing. But if we come across here all, and you could see back then, if this was within the past 3 months, I saw this big drop off here, I would not get on the listing. I would not consider it safe because we're not sure if it's going to happen again soon. So we can see, guys, this was, a while back. This was in November. And so this, guys, you could see 100 people drop down to 89 and then instantly drop down to 8 people, which means just about every single person got kicked off that listing, got an IP violation, and had to submit documentation, invoices to get that taken off their dashboard. And so we don't want to run into anything like this. And so if you see this, just ignore it, guys. Go to a different product and skip along. And so this, guys, you can see if we go under the data right here and you can see offer count, now we can see a little bit more data that we're able to track. So if we do include historical offers right here, we can see every single person that was previously on the listing and every single person that's on the listing right now. And so, guys, we're able to actually map out and see what price is the best to sell out based on this data here. So we can see this person here, we see they started with 249 and we can see they are now selling very quickly, and we can kind of map out based on the price that they were selling at when they were selling this fast. And so Tuesday, April 28th, if we go back to here, we can see kind of how fast they were selling at based on that date there, what price they were selling at, right? So April 28th, it looks like they were selling at $28. And so we know that at $28, we're able to sell pretty quick, similar to this guy here, the Shop LLC. And so you're able to do this with every single person here, kind of map out what price they were selling at, what price you feel like you should sell at. And another way to kind of map that out as well is under the BuyBox Statistics, as we talked about earlier. You guys can see how frequently it's rotating between people, right? You don't want to see anyone winning the buy box more than like 85 to 90% because then you're not going to likely win the buy box and you're not going to get as many sales as the other person. So you guys are going to want to go into here and keep a buy box statistics and go through and see, make sure it's rotating. This is good. This is what you guys want to see. You want to see 15%, 9%, 8%. That means these people are actually rotating. They're getting sales. They're winning that buy box, and you're able to determine that based on these numbers here. And you can also map up to see the average price that they've been selling at when they were in the buy box. And so you can see even at 5%, this guy was selling at $29.22. And so if you want to aim for a higher price, which I always do, I always aim to try to go a little bit above the buy box, a little bit above, and try to get the highest margin possible. And I always go into here and see what price I can win it at based on the other past data. And so you can see $29.22, this is 5%. He wins at 5% of the time. That's fine. I could do that as well. I'd be happy with that. I'd still capture sales and I'd get even a higher profit margin than the other people selling at $27 and winning it more. And so this is kind of how you read that Keepa data and how you understand those Keepa charts. Like I said, this is essentially a good example. I'm going to show you guys another good example right here so that you guys can kind of understand what you're looking for when it comes to those Keepa charts. It's important to just kind of dig into the data, really understand what you're looking at so that you guys aren't confused when you're out there sourcing. So if you made it through this entire video and you feel like you do have some other questions, you want some more handheld, directly personal one on one coaching from me, you guys are welcome to it. There's a link in my bio for that one on one coaching application where I walk you guys through directly everything you need. And so if you guys were interested in that, like I said, that link is in my bio. But this right here, guys, this is a really good example of another good Keepa chart, right? You can see consistent pricing here. You can see it sells pretty quick. The offer count is raising, and so you kind of want to be aware of that a little bit, but the price doesn't seem to be dropping that much. Even though the offer count is raising, people seem to be holding it pretty consistently. And so you can see this right here is pretty stable. It's not dropping. The yellow line here is pretty stable. And this purple line here, we have movement. People are going up and people are selling out, right? That means people are selling fast. People are getting on the listing. There's demand. People are selling out. So that is a good example of a Keepa chart right here. And like I said prior, guys, you don't want to see this as a straight line. If this says 1, 2, and it's just a straight line throughout all of history, you guys don't want to get on that listing. You'd be competing against Amazon or the brand and likely to get an IP complaint. So this is how you understand Keepa, guys, and this is why it's extremely important to use it within your business so that you guys can track how fast the products have sold, what price they've been selling for, and all the prior competition, so you guys can determine when to buy and what price to actually sell it at. I appreciate you guys watching through this entire video. If you enjoyed this video and you feel like you learned a lot and you feel like you want some more personal handheld coaching directly from me, there's a link below that you can check out that one-on-one coaching application. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.